The Rainbow Push Coalition is hosting its annual international convention starting tomorrow, Friday, June 28th. The 5-day event will bring sports legends, union members, foreign dignitaries, and presidential candidates together. Joining us now, Reverend Jesse Jackson here to tell us more. Good morning.
Good morning. A little pre-convention breaking news. We sent a delegation of ministers led by Reverend Will Hall to El Paso, Texas, yesterday to the border. Congresswoman Escobar and Sheila Jackson, we're sending 5,000 diapers to the babies there, and toothpaste and brushes, men and women's undergarments. We cannot sit idly by and be silent in the face of this gross. Can you imagine the babies without diapers for 3 weeks? Sleeping on the kind of squalor they're sleeping in. We're not going to take it. We're going to send a strong delegation and make a real presence at the border.
Okay, that's how they're kicking off their event this week. This is a very, very big event for you all. You're kicking it off by sending resources to the border. Thanks for that update. Tell me about the purpose of this event, this international conference.
Well, in many ways, it's 2020. Also, it's the 400th year since we've been here, 400 years, where we're coming from slave ship to 55 Congress people, 38 Latinos and 20 Asian people. We're the most democratic we've ever been as a country. We kick off Friday at the Teachers Union at the labor luncheon with Joe Biden. He'll speak at the labor luncheon, and the president of the International Parents Union, because workers are victimized not only by lack of wages, but what they call the temporary work scam. You work up to the day that you were to get full benefits, they lay you off. Hire next week, which is a scam on about 7 million workers in the number. So it's going to be a lot about labor. That night, the educational focus. It used to be a race gap, now it's a resource gap. The gap between the suburb may teach 5 languages, inner city may teach none. You have to take the same exam. A big deal on Saturday morning with the Klobuchar and Tulsa Gabbard.
Okay, and Elizabeth Warren is also coming Saturday, too.
And we'll be at 3rd Night in Indiana at 9:30, 3rd Night in Indiana at Apostolic Church.
Okay, and then you're also going to have presidential candidate Mayor Buttigieg. She's going to be there as well.
Big that afternoon, we're having Dougie Fresh.
Oh, Dougie Fresh is going to be there. Yeah. Well, that's a good point. This international conference is bringing... I'm sorry, go ahead.
And Nickelodeon, we do Saba Museum, the big outdoor festival. On Saturday and Sunday night we do the gospel. On Sunday morning, Monday morning we do Mayor de Blasio on the health breakfast. Women's luncheon. His wife will speak. That night it's a sports luncheon, sports legend with Isaac Thomas and Spencer Haywood. And then Mayor Pete on Tuesday morning. Okay,
as you all just heard, it is going to be, the next 5 days are going to be super busy for you, so you're not going to get any sleep. But you're bringing together so many different people for so many different backgrounds to talk about a lot of issues, from jobs, as you mentioned, even going into some of the inequities that we have, racial inequities within our country.
All that we fought for is on attack. I mean, the very bodies of women is up for discussion again. Women's right to should be beyond debate.
Discussion about abortion.
It's a big, self-determination in a more general sense, not just abortion and the women's right to self-determination. I think that the Voting Rights Act is on attack. To protect the Voting Rights Act should be a fact now, but it's not a fact. WikiLeaks, TrickleLeaks is worse. TrickleLeaks is voter suppression. It's going to be used on to cut American workers. And so, too much about guns in, drugs in, jobs out.
Yeah, these are all hot button issues. Let's get to this one. Mayor Buttigieg, she's actually under fire for the recent police shooting that happened in South Bend. This is a major presidential candidate facing issues that are dealing with Black Americans.
Well, but the fact is that you have a city where you have the real estate agents send blacks and browns to one side of town. The banks and the insurance companies, they red line. And police don't live in the city. So police and
they're policing communities they don't know.
They come in as occupying forces. So police should live next door. Farmers should live. You should
be a part of the community.
You should shop at the same place. You should the same. If they take the jobs and tax base out, come in as scared and they're likely to shoot some more people.
Yeah. So are you saying that you feel like this shooting is possibly being caused? One of the causes could be segregation.
No doubt about it, and police being seen as occupying forces. If we have 500 police and they live outside the city, they buy a house outside the city, tax base, they shop outside the city, kids at school outside the city. They come into work scared. People they don't know.
They don't know the community.
That's not a good thing. So Buttigieg, I think he should really speak to a comprehensive urban policy, and not take the sole hit for that by himself, because that's the crime. Chicago police must stay in the city. Detroit, they don't.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And when they take the tax base away and they take the consumer base away, education, then there's nothing left but anger.
Okay. Well, we got about a minute left, and I want to get this because the title for this gathering, for this conference, is 400 Years Later, Repairing the Damage Done. So right now we have so many presidential candidates. I know former Vice President Biden, he recently stumbled over a question regarding reparations. Mayor Buttigieg in South Bend is now facing backlash from the black community regarding this recent shooting. What are presidential candidates going to have to do to step it up to gain black voters?
Well, what's good for blacks is good for everybody. We want to protect the right to vote. Mm-hmm. We want affordable health care for everybody, affordable education for everybody, student loan debt forgiveness. So the issues that what I call the moral center broadly apply to everybody. They're not just for one side of town. What's good for blacks is good for everybody. Mm-hmm. What I call a common ground, common sense, moral, and sense of agenda.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, but you say that at the same time, the black community is still pushing for a seat at the table on several fronts.
Well, when you look at, we have an African-American mayor, female here, and state's attorney, and attorney general, and state treasurer, and city treasurer. We're at the table. Mm-hmm. We're the head of the table. That we must not do something different other than just being colored. Must also have a change in direction. Okay, and that's what's going to be discussed this weekend and over the next 5 days. Reverend Jackson, thank you for stopping by. And your husband, Ted, would be a big leader in that. My husband, Ted, he's definitely picking up his civil rights hat for sure. Ted is my guy. Thank you so much. I'm proud to hear you say that. His father came here from by Mississippi in a casket. Yeah. They were going to kill him. His father came in a casket. Yeah. Became one of the outstanding doctors of Chicago and America, Dr. T.R.M. Howard. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. They're telling me to wrap, but thank you for sharing that. He's talking about my husband's father, Dr. T.R.M. Howard, certainly a civil rights giant here in Chicago. Thank you so much, Reverend Jackson. You as well, a living legend. To register for the convention and for more information, go to rainbowpush.org. You guys, the next 5 days are going to be a big deal. A lot of things happening, a lot of events on the South side as well as downtown. So go to that website. You can get all the information you need to know right there.